All right, in this video, I'm going to be making a 4S battery pack for my Cinewoop and see if it'll fly using it, even though it's only 35 amps. So hopefully we can use it. I'm going to be using these Molicel P28As. These are 2800 milliamp. So we'll see how that goes. So once you get these batteries, first thing to do is test and see what voltage they're at. 3.8. And let's see what this one is. 3.89. So these are pretty close. So I did this for all 4 batteries to make sure that they tested good before we proceeded. That's why you usually buy multiples more than just what you need, and try to grab the ones that have the closest voltage to each other. So when you start to balance them out, it just makes it a little easier. For comparison, here's the weight of my 4S LiPo. That's 1500 milliamps. And here's the weight of the Li-ion cell that I just made. And you can see it weighs a little more, but you get 2800 milliamp hours of that one, whereas the other one's only 1500 milliamp. All right, so again, here's the batteries we're going to be using. Here's the connectors we're going to be using for it. It's an XT60, and here's the balance plug. We'll be using this end of it right here. We have some solder, a K-spot weld, but you can do everything with a soldering iron if you want. Solder strips, electrical tape. This is a battery wrap. And some of this tape, can't remember the name of it, but I'll have it down in the description. I have a hot glue gun. Here are my nickel strips. Here they are right here. Some heat shrink. I have a marker, sandpaper, and my multimeter. Well, first thing I'm gonna do is get the batteries ready. I'm gonna go ahead and scuff up the metal right there a little bit. Try not to hit the plastic on the end, and just go down to the middle. And then we'll get this end. Just a little bit. We'll do that for all 4. All right. Get out these nickel strips. We'll use 4 of these. So I'll use 2 and cut them in half. You can cut these with scissors. I already have my soldering iron heating up. So just cut them in half. And 4. This is all the prep work. I'm gonna go ahead and scuff these up also. Just to make sure when I'm putting solder on later that they'll stick to it good. I don't want to do the sanding while the battery's all together. There we go. Put them to the side. Now I'm going to prep my cables. I'll just cut the end off of here. Or the end I don't need. So as this goes down through the battery, right, the longest it's going to be is about to there. So I'll keep it right there. And then my red wire is going to go, just straighten it out. I'm trying to do this without laying it down, right to here. So I'll cut my red wire right there. So my red wire is cut there. I'll cut the last wire, the last black one, same spot as red. And the first one's going to go all the way down. The second one's coming up to where the red wire is. So I'll cut that about the same length as the red. Sometimes with these little cables, easier just to barely nick it, the jacket, and then pull off. So what I'm doing here is just barely touching it with the scissors, twisting a little, and then pull off. So I'll do the same thing for these, but I can probably use just strippers on these. Let's go a little lower. Hopefully I don't pull it out. Should be using around a 16 gauge wire. Okay, finish prepping the wires. Go ahead and twist them. Just making sure none of the cables are frayed out. Put a little bit of flux on all your cables, and then go ahead and tin the wires. The same thing for power leads. And we'll go ahead and put some on this connector. So what you can do is you get just a little bit of solder on the back. Just a little bit. Touch the back of it. And it should start to melt also. There you go. Again, heating it up. Just gotta put a little solder on the end of it to make it hot. Just a little bit. Starting to melt. Go ahead and throw this in there. It should melt together. I'll see which tubing fits. Let's see if this one fits it. And now I'll put the tubing on. So push down at the same time, hit it a little bit. Just get it to close up some. Want it to slide down in. Slide it down. A little more right here. There we go. Alright, this cable's ready to go. Let's go ahead and get the battery ready. Put them together. Put a bead down the middle. Do the same thing for the other one. Positive, negative. Bead down the middle here. Flip it up. See where the positive and negatives are? So I go ahead and turn it on the side here. Do the same thing. Okay, so our battery's ready. Go ahead and take one of your strips, and what we're going to do is wherever the strip's going to touch to the other side, we're going to go ahead and put a little piece of tape just so that we don't bridge anything in the middle. Take a little piece of tape and then go right down alongside of here. Cut that right there, bend it down. Okay, so I guess I wasn't recording it just a second ago. So what I did do is I went ahead and put this one on. So this is my positive and negative. So I put this strip on, and I'll show you how I did that when I do the next one. So it's going like this. For my positive, it's going down, over, up, over, down, over, and then back up. So when I'm going down here, I need to now cross this negative with this positive. So what I did here is I put a piece of tape going here to make sure I don't bridge anything. So I'm going to do that again. Right here. More worried about the negative or the positive than the negative. Just to make sure that strip is not touching the outside of the battery when I put it on. Push everything in. Tighten those up. Same for this. There we go. Got a nice channel down there to run my cables. Don't touch those two together. Make sure you keep them apart. You're going to get a spark like I did. There we go. And we'll put the last one over here. You could have soldered this on there, just don't leave your soldering iron on this battery too long. That's why it's better to use the little spot welder. So again, if you look down here, I have my positive, which is going to have my leads coming out, going down to negative, over to this battery, up to this battery, over, down, over, and up. That's what we want. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is get the battery leads onto the terminals I'm going to make. So again, I had another one here. What I'm going to do is actually cut this one in half, the fourth one that I had. round up one of the ends. Round up this end. Drop some flux on it. And put a couple dabs of solder on there. One here. And then one here. That's good. On the other end, I'm going to do the same thing, but not as big. So one end I had square, the other end's not. Do the same thing, put a little flux on it. I'm just going to drop a really smaller piece of solder on there. There we go. That's good. So for that, we have our positive and negative battery leads. There's this one would be my positive, so I'll grab a little more solder. Put the positive on. Melt that down onto it. I want a lot of solder on this. There we go. That should look right there. I'll do the same thing for the other one. Make sure I'm touching the plate also, because I want all this solder to melt together. It's on the base plate and it's on the cable. And I'm going to put the two ends of my balance connector, black to black. What I'm going to do here is get a piece of this that fits over it, cut a couple strips, and put these on, get them ready for later. Now I'll go ahead and take my red cable, again a little solder, put it on there. And then the last cable all the way this way. It is ready to go. So now we'll go ahead and prep the battery. Do the same thing here. Put a little dab there in the middle. Go ahead and put a little right here. Flip it over. Do the same thing. So, starting from the top, I'll go ahead and, since this is where my leads are coming out of, I'll go ahead and throw, let's just do one at a time. So I'll go to the one beside the red and go to number 2. This one goes down. All the way through. So my second one is going to go to the first one. So here's my positive. It's going to go right there to the first bridge. Easiest way for me is to pull it out a good bit. Hit it with a little solder. Okay, my memory card stopped recording, so I'm not sure how far I got. So I'm going to start with taking that second cable by the red one, and I put that down through and then soldered it. So if you look, you have the plus coming down. The one that's connected to your positive lead that you're going to use, that's the one you solder it to, right there. So the second one is the third one. Here's what I meant to say. My second black cable is going to go up here. My third one's going down there also. So I'll just go ahead and take this one. And it's the fourth one from the right. So it's red, black, black, black. So it's the third black one. Down through. There we go. Same thing. Pull it out a good bit. Like this. So that I can hold it and push it down. Go ahead and put that on. Good. There we go. Now I'll go with the last one. It's going to go right here. So go ahead here. Solder. Hit that one. There we go. And then my positive and negatives. What I'm going to do is push this up right here so that it's not touching. And I'll do my negative first. You can do the positive first if you want. It's up to you. And I'll bend it. And then bend it back. Turn this on. Go ahead and put this down, get it ready. And we'll hit it. Hit it again. Do the same thing. Bend it back. Get it ready. Hold it down on one end. And then hit it. So I have to take this off. So I'll just take the red one off. Now I can slide this down, slide that down, cut this one off. And go ahead and hit it with the heat gun. Lift it up a little. Should it stand down there? So to test it, go ahead and go end to end. 15. So that shows it's working. I can go to the first cell. right? I can go to now incorporate the second cell. Started with 3.8, 7.6. Now if I add this one, 11.46, and last. There we go. Good to go. Grab this tape. I'm gonna wrap it up real good before I put the heat shrink on. So I'm gonna have it to where my balance leads go like this and my power leads go like that. So I'll go ahead. So start here, right over the top. Smooth it all out. Now go around the top, up here, lift this up a little, go around here, see that? Now I go around here too, just a little bit, just keeping everything tight. Go one more. That's it. Not too much worried about wrapping the whole thing because I'm going to put the tubing on top. It's going to shrink a good bit, so I'm going to go about a ½ an inch above and a ½ an inch under. Maybe a little over ½ an inch. There we go. See how much is there, because this thing's going to shrink a lot. And then same thing on this side. Got a good bit. Alright, that's it. The only thing left is to put it on a charger, charge it up. We'll see. I'm going to charge it up regular LiPo settings. This one can handle 4.2 volts, so I'm going to charge it up like a regular LiPo. And we'll get it in the air and see how it does in the next video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.